Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from XTERRA Oak Mountain. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are brought to you by Master Spas, SFuels Go Longer, HOKA Let's Fly, Forum Smart Swim Goggles, Zoot Sports, the original triathlon brand, Premium Plus Sports, and our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Get the opportunity to chat to the future of our sport, and we've got Sullivan Middaugh and Keller Norland, who are both part of the USA Triathlon Podium project. How are you both doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
It's a treat. Just got to talk to the old man, and he talked about how you kicked his butt last year, and you beat him by a minute 43, even though you had a flat and all that type of stuff. How fun was that coming home beating him in a pro race?
It was awesome. I mean, it was perfect. It was my home course, so I really knew it well, and it was perfect for my first pro race.
So growing up with this sport, did you think this was crazy as a kid traveling around the world with your dad? Like, what's he doing? How come he doesn't just leave the office, leave the home, and leave the house and go to the office with a briefcase? This is a little different than most other kids.
Yeah, no, I definitely realize more now how different that was, but then I was just normal. It was
yeah, it's just
life,
like, we go away in the summer and we travel to do different races, and that had to be pretty fun for you to see the world like that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
And the mountain bike was always something that you loved?
Yeah, as a kid, I grew up mountain biking. I didn't really have a road bike, and
yes.
so that was mostly my background, trail running too. Yeah.
And then you ran through high school and...
Yeah, I did cross country and track all 4 years of high school.
And did you swim as well?
I didn't. I did a kind of a low-key swim team in like middle school in the summer, and so I had enough of a swim background to kind of
sort of fake your way.
It's a lot better now, yeah.
So Keller, you're from up in Oregon, and triathlon's been a big part of your life right from the beginning. And both you guys, what are you, 19, 18?
Both 19.
Both 19. Wow. Early on, Keller?
Yeah, so my mom raced XTERRA my whole childhood, so I kind of traveled around the Northwest with her, going to all the races. So I grew up around triathlon with the Oregon State University triathlon team.
Oh, wow.
My mom was a part of that, so.
I love the collegiate clubs are like my favorite.
Yeah, it's amazing. So we were friends with some race directors, so I kind of just grew up around the sport, but I was really big into running in high school. So.
What were your distances?
I was best at cross country, so 5K. Yes. But on the track, I did the 3,000 and 1,500.
What was your PR for 15?
I think I ran 4:01.
Ooh, that's a real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What 1,500 was yours?
No, I ran the 1,600 in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's Colorado always has to be different. Right? Yeah. We'll just pick our own number. And was the thought to try to do more road tries when you were younger and thinking about the Olympics, that type of thing?
Yeah, so USA Triathlon has a junior development series.
Yes.
So I was pretty focused on that. I did my first race when I was 15. So throughout high school, I was really into the development series. Mm-hmm. So during the summer, I would travel to those races. There was 5 per year, I think.
Yes.
So that's what I was into, but there was no men's NCAA programs for triathlon. So I was really focused on trying to get a running scholarship at a school that would allow me to do triathlon on the side.
Yeah.
But Project Podium, I reached out to Parker Spencer, and he gave me some goals to hit, and I was able to reach them. So
good for you. Yeah, it's interesting because when I look at our history, most of our guys from Hunter Kemper, they ran in college and they swam in college, mm-hmm. and then they did their triathlon stuff in the summer. Yep. You know, you've got to have that to be able to compete with the best in the world. You got to run like a runner and swim like a swimmer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, especially that. So, is the goal for both of you trying to make the Olympic team at some point? Yeah. Is it 2024 too early? You think in 2028? I mean, the men's field is still fairly open for 2020. The women are deep. Yeah. But in terms of the men right now, there still seems to be some ability to squeeze in.
Yeah. 2024 might be a bit of a stretch right now.
Yeah, 20 years old.
Yeah. 2028 is where I'm
LA.
what I'm focusing on right now. So,
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because like we said, we've had so much success on the women's side just through identifying folks out of college, and Katie Zafaris and Barb Lindquist and Summer Rappaport and so many great women who've gone on to do really, really well. But we haven't had that success on the guys' side, and in XTERRA as well, right? Your dad, 2015, winning XTERRA Worlds, but we haven't had anybody for forever and ever. Do you see, since you've been immersed in this, do you see more young Americans coming up in XTERRA side?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that it's pretty popular, and the age group coming up is pretty competitive. So
it is.
Yeah.
Very cool. And Keller, so you've raced a few times this year, right? You were 30th in La Habana, right? 44th at America's Tri-Cup Sarasota, 35th America's Tri-Cup St. Peter. So you're jumping in with the big boys.
Yeah. I just aged out of juniors, so
You're the young guy.
First. Yeah.
You're low on the totem pole right there. But
exactly.
But what have you learned from racing? Because you go from juniors, where you sort of are the guy, to now you're the guy people are like, oh no, he's going to be back there for a little bit.
Yeah.
What have you gained confidence-wise from this?
It's the confidence definitely took a hit at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Just because I was used to winning
Podium.
every race. Yeah. So it's taken a little bit of getting used to racing with the older guys, but it's really, really good. Like, it's insane the level that the America's pros are getting to.
That's good to know.
It's definitely getting towards Europe, not quite as close, but it's really good to be racing with them now. So
yeah, and Sullivan, for you, balancing, because obviously you've had success on the XTERRA side already. Balancing that and Podium project, do you find they work well together, that your road triathlon is becoming stronger because of what you do from XTERRA and off-road?
Yeah, definitely. I think that they both help each other. I mean, the strong bike with XTERRA, where it's very technical, a lot of climbing.
Right.
Yeah, mostly this year I've been just really working on like learning from all the races and the experiences. I still haven't had a full year of doing triathlon like all in. So, yeah, I'm just taking one race at a time.
Look at you. You got the pro interview thing going. I take it one race at a time. And will you guys be racing a number of XTERRAs this year, as well as some of the Olympic format type of racing?
yeah, we're doing 5 XTERRAs.
Yeah,
You're doing 5 XTERRAs.
Yeah.
And Parker's all in on that.
Yep.
Yeah. Does he have some of the other athletes on mountain bikes too?
No, a little bit actually, yes. But we also have some guys doing like 70.3s and kind of doing some other triathlons.
So he feels a variety is good. You got it, otherwise you get bored, right?
Yeah.
When did you feel that you could be really good at XTERRA?
I don't really know. I mean, I went to XTERRA Worlds in 2021 after kind of had a running injury, and so I kind of did well at XTERRA Beaver Creek that year. And then I went to XTERRA Worlds, is where I kind of met Parker and Project Podium.
Oh, they were at XTERRA Worlds.
Yeah, and so I did well that year, and I didn't really know triathlon was a route for me.
Right.
But it worked out, and then especially last year at XTERRA Nationals is when I really...
Yeah, when you win it, you're sort of like, I think I could be good at this. When I knock, everybody's behind me, that's the thing. Now, short track, you guys are both racing short track as well. I'm guessing you like short track.
Yes, I mean, we're racing sprint triathlons all year.
So this is right,
So, yeah.
And you also have that mixed relays thing going on too. So the shorter the better. And I think what we're seeing is, from a television perspective, I think the Olympics are going that way. They want relays, they want short. My gut tells me that maybe even by 2032, the Olympic distance might be the sprint distance. It might be moving, because you're seeing more and more sprint races sprinkled in there, and I don't think that's an accident.
Yeah. That's the rumors I've been hearing.
You're hearing that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you gained from being a Podium project? How has it helped you? Norm, we'll start with you in terms of your overall game.
Yeah, it's honestly amazing. Like, we are extremely lucky to be a part of the program.
Yes.
We get a ton of support, which is like game changing to be able to get to races.
Right.
Just being able to have the experience of going to Europe, going to South America, and just being able to race at least like once a month is huge. So for me, that's by far the best part, just getting experience racing all over the world against a bunch of different fields. So.
And for yourself?
Yeah, I'd say it's a very like untraditional college path.
Because you guys are in college at ASU?
Yeah, we
as
have
part
a
of the
partnership
program.
with ASU,
Yeah.
and so I'm taking online classes with them, and so I think it's a very different experience, obviously, traveling the world. So yeah, I think it's just a different lifestyle. Yeah.
Have you noticed, since you've been this pretty much your whole life, right, in terms of being on a mountain bike, how much of the bike's changed?
I think they've changed. I mean, I don't really know. I've got my first road bike this year, but
no, in terms of mountain bike.
Mountain bike. I mean,
because that's something you've
been
doing.
Yeah,
forever.
I've been on a hardtail up until last year, and so I think the full suspension bikes are getting a lot lighter, which is a big advantage because you can you have a full suspension, not be at a disadvantage climbing,
right?
Which is awesome. Yeah.
And then have a huge advantage on the downhills.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so cool. and so this, the goal is 2028. Mm-hmm. Hopefully both of you will be on the U.S. team doing that, and then balancing that with winning XTERRA Worlds at the same time.
That's the goal.
We'll see.
That is very cool. What do you know about, have you been on this course before?
No, this is my first year. And,
really?
Yeah, so it should be fun.
Did you get to go out there in the last couple of days?
Yep, we rode the full course and rode a little bit today.
What'd you think?
It's definitely different than what I grew up with.
Altitude climbing. It doesn't have either. No, you're 0 for 2 there.
Yeah, it's very, very powerful, but very winding and lots of roots and
accelerating out of corners.
Exactly.
and not try to go down on the roots. And now with the rain, do you want more rain before race day? What do you guys prefer?
I'm okay with it being dry.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
I like the rain.
Yeah, you're Keller. You're from freaking Oregon. You want as much rain as you can get.
Yeah.
That's the difference between interviewing people at this race and most of the races I'm at. I'm talking to somebody in Kona, and we start talking about weather. It's like, I'll just hope it doesn't rain. And here it's like, please, give me more rain. I want it to be sloppy and as messy as possible. Yeah. The harder the conditions, the better.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. I like it. I like it wet.
And you want to go up. You want climbing.
Yeah, I
you
love
want more
climbing.
Yeah. I can't imagine that the climbing that you do during this doesn't help the road. It's got to make a huge difference.
No, it makes a huge difference in draft legal. Is the bike is becoming more and more challenging, and so I think that the climbing definitely helps with even mountain biking, the spikes and
the power you have. It's a big difference watching just seeing how much the sport has changed. Because it used to be you had to be a great swimmer, you had to be right up there at the front. And then the bike was sort of mellow, and then people would go off and run 29-minute 10K. Now, and starting with Alistair Brownlee and Javier, they changed it. Everybody was attacking on the bike the whole time and spiking power and all the rest of that. And you guys are right in that era. Swimming-wise, not coming from a swimming background, has that been tough when you're trying to do the road tries?
Yeah, especially in the beginning of last year. I was just getting better at swimming, and I really struggled coming out like over a minute back in a sprint triathlon.
Right.
Our last race in Punta Cana, I had a much better swim, so I think it's developing every single race. Yeah.
And how about you?
I grew up swimming.
So swimming's your thing.
Yeah. So I should, in XTERRAs, I am usually up in the front.
Right there front, yes.
Yeah. But in draft legal triathlon, there's some very, very good swimmers. So
yes, there are.
I'm still figuring out the swim and the on-road stuff right now.
So do you try to sit on his feet then?
I don't even know if I can.
You haven't seen his feet very often.
No. So that'd be my goal, I guess.
Well, boys, have fun on Saturday and Sunday. You like the fact that you have to race 2 days in a row?
Yeah, it'll be super fun.
You're young. It's not like you need to recover or anything. It's never been a problem. And this is the rubber match. So you beat your dad, and then he beat you, 12th and 14th at World. So
I guess so, yeah.
This is bragging rights, right?
Yep, until the next one, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for taking time, guys. Such a pleasure
you.
to meet you both. I always love when we get a chance to talk to the future of our sport, and you guys are it.
Thanks for having us.
Always a pleasure. Again, we're at Breakfast Bob from XTERRA Oak Mountain. Hold on. We will be right back.